So welcome everyone to today's lesson. Today we're going to be covering writing topic sentences for writing task 2 from the IELTS exam. I am going to be joined by 6 of my students today, and they are going to be trying to provide some topic sentences, and we're going to have a look at them, see how we do. So today we've got Grace, Mary, Nabila, Rie, Sahar, Vanessa. So welcome guys to our lesson. Before I get started and getting feedback from our students, I'm just going to give a quick introduction to how to write topic sentences. So first thing we've got to think about when writing a topic sentence is why. You've got to understand why you're writing every type of sentence that we have. So the purpose of a topic sentence is simply you're introducing the idea you're going to talk about in the paragraph. Okay, so when the reader, your examiner, reads the sentence, they go, okay, I know what this paragraph is about. This is introducing your idea, and then you're going to develop that as you go on. You need to show you are directly answering the question in your topic sentences. So a mistake I sometimes see people do is writing background information. Never write background information at the beginning of the paragraph. It's going to really hurt your coherence cohesion. You need to start by directly answering the question. On your IELTS task 2, you have different types of questions. So we've got discussion questions, opinion questions. You might have cause and effect. You might have solutions, advantages, disadvantages. Whichever type of question it is, we need to signpost that we're answering that. So for example, if it says, what is your opinion for an opinion essay? You're going to be one reason I agree or one reason I think this is. So it's showing that it's your opinion. If we've got a discussion essay, it's asking you to discuss 2 views. So we're going to say, some people think, and you're going to introduce that it's a view because you're being asked to give a view. If it asks you for advantages, you're going to say the advantages of this are, or the benefits of this are. So it needs to be very, very clear in your topic sentences that you are directly answering the question. And a good tip to know if you have a good topic sentence or not is if you read your topic sentence, can the writer guess what the question is without having to read the question? So if you can read that and go, okay, I know what this question is about, then you have written a very good topic sentence. And also it has to obviously include a main idea. The other problem that people sometimes do, especially with discussion essays, they get a discussion essay and they'll just copy or paraphrase the view that's been given in the question statement. So we don't want to do that. We need to show that some people have a view and then give a reason. So we're always giving reasons. So today's question, we're going to continue from what we were doing last week. So it says some people like to try new things. For example, places to visit and types of food. Other people prefer to keep doing things they're familiar with. We're going to discuss both attitudes and give your opinion. But it's very important that somewhere in this essay that we're giving our opinion. With a discussion essay, first question for my students, do I need to give, do I put my opinion in a topic sentence? Mary says no, Rie says yes, Vanessa no, Grace no, Nabila yes. Okay, so in a discussion essay, we actually put our opinion in a sentence called an opinion statement, which goes at the end of the paragraph. So your topic sentences here are going to be focusing on this first part of the question, where it says discuss both these attitudes. Okay, so if you see you've got a discussion essay, we don't actually need to put the opinion in the topic sentence. You need it in your paragraph, but that's why we have these additional sentences, which we're going to look at in later lessons called opinion statements. So Mary asked, these attitudes, does it mean the same as these views? Yeah. Basically, these are attitudes. Normally you'll see with these discussion essays, it says discuss both these views. I guess this is slightly more of an attitude than a view, so they've slightly reworded it, but it doesn't change anything that we're doing. We're still discussing both. So we don't choose one and go, oh, I'm going to go with that and ignore the other one. We have to follow the question. So if it says discuss both these attitudes, in one of our body paragraphs, we're going to say why some people like to try new things. And in the second body paragraph, we're going to explain why other people prefer to keep doing things they're familiar with. So both of these need to be discussed, irrespective of what your opinion is. So if you agree with one, don't do, again, this is a common mistake I see, don't just talk about one view. We have to discuss both, because that's what the question is talking about. So I think I said this over and over again. So the type of question we have here is, clearly a discussion. Discussion essays are super easy to identify because the first word in your essay is going to be discuss. What type of signposting will we use? So what kind of words are we going to show that we're talking about other people's views? Good, so Nabila says something, others think. Vanessa, yeah, others think. Mary said, on the one hand, a number of people believe that, yep, this is good. Sahar said, it's thought by some, yep. So Grace was asking, what is signposting? So signposting is this kind of language that people have just mentioned to indicate what you're talking about. So here, when I say some people think, or a number of people believe that, this signposts, this creates a signpost or indicates to the person reading your work what type of essay we're looking at. So if I just said, one reason some people like to try, one reason to try new things is people get bored of doing the same thing over again. It just looks like it's your opinion. When you say some people think, it looks like it's someone else's opinion. The question is asking you to discuss both attitudes and give your opinion. So we need to show very clearly that we're talking about other people's points of view. And that's why we're going to use this language, like on the one hand, a number of people believe that, or others think, or something along these lines to indicate to the reader that you are writing a discussion essay. And you will find if you use good signposting, it forces you to answer the question correctly. Because you can't really go off topic because you're actually doing exactly what the question is telling you to do. So a quick note for discussion essays, this is a discussion essay that we're going to look at. We always talk about the view that we don't agree with, or the view we think is weak in the first main body paragraph. Then we're going to finish with the second main body paragraph with a view that we agree with and we think is strong. The reason we do this, it makes a much stronger argument. If you finish an argument with a weak point or something you disagree with, it leaves the reader thinking about the weak point. So it doesn't really help you with your coherence cohesion. If you finish an argument with your point, you can accept the first point in your first body paragraph. And in your second body paragraph, you go, okay, now this is the view I agree with, is a much stronger argument. So always put the view that you disagree with, or you think is weak in the first body paragraph, and then the second view, the view that you agree with in your second one. So we already had a look at some ideas for this. So remember the question said, some people like to try new things, for example, places to visit and types of food. Other people prefer to keep doing things they're familiar with. We came up with the idea that the reason they like to try new things is they get bored of doing the same things, the same activities. So I'm going to throw this over to my students in the chat. Can you write me a topic sentence for this discussion essay? So we're looking at this first view, you should be able to see it at the bottom of your screen here, about people being bored of doing the same things. Okay. Anyone who's watching this video at home and isn't part of the lesson, use this time to think about topic sentences you would write yourself, and then write on down and see if you are coming up with the same kind of ideas that my students come up with, and if you make any of the same mistakes that they might make. Thank you very much to begin. When writing, don't rush. Always check your work. Make sure that once you've written it, there's not little mistakes like missing capital letters or full stops. Thank you, Mary. Excellent. Thank you very much. Keep shrinking. Oh, thank you. Okay, while my other two students are thinking about this and working on this, let's have a look at these first four. So we have enough space on the screen. So this first one, on the hand, some believe that people who like to try a new thing is because they are bored of doing the same things. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is first see, can I tell the type of essay? So by reading this, can I identify that this is a discussion essay? So what do we think? So Hart says yes. So is there signposting? Yep. As Mary and Vila both said, yeah, the problem here is lack of proofreading. So on the hand. So the expression here is on the. So this is nice. It's not going to work for absolutely every essay type. So this is quite a nice cohesive device or transitional phrase that will work very well for discussion essays. So don't blindly use these kind of introductory phrases for every single one of your essays, but for discussion essays, this is good. So we like this. On the one hand, some believe that people who like to try a new thing. So are they trying one thing or many things? Okay, some believe that people who like to try new things is because, so here, the is doesn't quite reason work. You could have a reason. Some people like to try new things, but some people that who like to try new things, maybe we could have do so because. Some people that like to try new things do so because they are bored of doing the same things. Okay. So we've gone through this and we fixed vocabulary and grammar issues. So what do we think now? If we read this, can we read it? Can we decide what type of essay it is? Can we decide what the question is from this? And do we clearly have a main idea? So Vanessa says it's good. Yes, Mary says it's good. Sahar says yes. Grace says yes. Good. Yeah, I agree. So we know we definitely have a reason because we have this conjunction because. So because is a really great word in your topic sentences because very clearly states this is my reason. So the second I see because or as, this is indicating to me that I have a reason. So that's good. the question was asking about people who like to try new things. Here it says about people who like to try new things. Good. There is a word in this, this sentence which is a little bit vague, and it's a word that we should, if possible, try and avoid in our academic writing. Can anyone tell me what that word is? Yeah, things. So two words which are very, very, very vague are things and stuff. Things you can get away with, stuff is terrible. In no part of your IELTS should you ever use the word stuff. So if you use this word, get it out of your vocabulary for your IELTS. But things, I mean, we can see it, it's in the question. It says some people like to try new things. But can we come up with something a little bit more academic or interesting rather than things? Yeah, so activities, excellent, yeah. So some believe that people who like to try new activities do so because they're bored of doing the same thing. What can we use instead of things here? Like a referencing word. Maybe this is ones, yeah, that'd be nice. And here we've got rid of this really vague vocabulary of using thing, and we put activities and then ones, and this improves our coherence cohesion because we're referencing things accurately. And it's very important that we reference accurately. So now we've got a really nice topic sentence. So good job to this student. Just to make space on the slide, we're going to delete this and have a look at the next one. Okay, so the next one says, on the one hand, a number of people believe that they are interested in different experiences as they are bored of doing the same things. Okay. Can we tell that it is a discussion essay? Vanessa says yes. Carl says yes. Yeah, so we've very clearly signposted this, so that's really good. We like that. The question refers to some, and we've used a number of people. Is this a good synonym for some? Great. So yes, yeah. Don't make the mistake, because I've seen a lot of people do this using many instead of some. So many is not a synonym for some. So a number is good. We can have certain people. If you want to change people, we can use individuals. Then the next part's a little bit different. So I said a number of people believe they are interested in different experiences. So do they believe they are? Because this refers to the people who are doing the believing or someone else. So are we referring to the people doing the believing, or are we referring to just people in general? But that's, yeah, people in general. So if we use this they, it means we're going back to the subject, and that's not what we're trying to say. So that, Mary was asking if I can use that. Believe that is fine, or believe that is optional here. But they is not good. So I was going to write people, but people's sounds a bit repetitive. So what can I use instead of the word people? So Sahar said some. Yeah, that would work. Or we could use individuals. We could use, Grace said men and women. We could, you just find it's not a very natural thing for a native speaker to write. Mainly because you're using three words, and we can say the 3 words in 1 word. And you will find that most native speakers are incredibly lazy and they will use the shortest way of expressing themselves. So while grace is not incorrect to write men and women, it would be better to just be a bit more concise and use either individuals or some. Okay. Mary said we can't use a referencing pronoun they. We can't use a referencing pronoun they because we have nothing to reference it yet. The only people that have been mentioned are the people with the opinion. So if you use a referencing pronoun, you're referencing the wrong people. And that changes the meaning a bit. So a number of people believe that individuals are interested in different. If we talk about different, is it going to be one thing or many things? Yeah, many. So we don't have one different thing. So different experiences. We've got this as, so this is nice. We've got this conjunction showing us that we've got a reason. As they are bored of doing the same things. Does the they work this time? Nabila says yes. It says yes. Yeah. This time, they is good because they is referring to these individuals, the last people we've mentioned. So this time the referencing pronoun works because we have something to reference it with. So this is a nice way of not repeating the same words over and over again. The board things. I would say here, okay, we've mentioned experiences, good. Could we change things? Yeah, we could maybe change it to activities to just be a little bit more interesting in our writing. Okay, so now a number of people believe that individuals are interested in different. So now looking at this topic sentence, what do we think? Nabila says good, Vanessa says good, Mary says good. Yep, completely agree. Maria says good. Excellent. Yeah. Now we've got a much more concise topic sentence. The referencing words, referencing the right things. So good job. Well done. Let's move on to the next one. So on the one hand, a number of people feel scared of challenging new experiences because they generally maintain the status quo as rituals, which are comfortable the most in their lifestyles. Okay. So looking at this, is it clear that this is a discussion essay? Mary says not really. Hal says no. So what is missing here? What do we need to put in this? We need the signposting that we mentioned earlier, because if I don't put signposting and I'm writing about something in the present simple in English, what does it imply? Nabila, exactly, it's a fact. So if I'm trying to show that we've got 2 different views and 2 different attitudes, I can't talk about facts. So it's super important to make sure that we've got this as a hard safety. Yeah, some believe that some individuals don't. Let's have this. Some believe that. A number of people feel scared. Will be slightly more natural rather than saying feel scared. Slightly more natural collocation here. When you have an adjective, so the scared is okay. What do I normally put in front of an adjective instead of a verb? Are scared, yeah, we usually use a verb to be. It's a bit more natural. So some people believe that a number of people are scared of challenging new experiences because they generally maintain the status quo as their rituals. So what is a ritual? It's not a routine. A ritual, normally you'll find a ritual is connected with religious activities. So here, our student is taking too many risks with their vocabulary. So here you could actually just say, because they generally maintain the status quo. So let's be a bit more concise here. So a number of people are scared of challenging experience because they great. Now, this starts a relative clause. So a relative clause has to refer to things here. So which would be referring to status quo. Does which refer to a status quo? No. So Mary asked, what is status quo? So status quo is basically when you don't like things to change. You like a situation to stay the same. This is your status quo. So what we're trying to do, I think the student's trying to do here, is add information. So what would be a good way to just normally add information? Is there a conjunction we can use to add information? Nabila, yeah, and. Okay. And then we want a subject. So they are comfortable the most. I think we mean here with their lifestyles. So if someone is comfortable with their lifestyle and they want to maintain the status quo, is this the same or something different? Nabila says it's the same, yeah. So being comfortable, not wanting to change things, it's exactly the same thing. So at the moment, this sounds a little bit repetitive. We want to be concise in our writing. So we're just going to write our idea once. Okay, so now we've got a complete topic sentence. The grammar and the vocabulary is correct. Is this directly answering the question? So if you read this question, would you be able to guess what the question statement is? So. In the chat, can you tell me, what do you think, if you read this, what question do you think this is talking about? I would say this is a slightly different question. So we can see that it's a discussion essay, so that bit's good. So let's read this part. Some believe a number of people are scared of challenging new experiences because. So we're definitely giving a cause, but what are we giving a cause for? We're not giving a cause for some people like to try new things. Or okay, so this is maybe, yeah, this is looking at the second idea. So people prefer to keep doing things they're familiar with, but it's still not actually answering that. It's giving a reason for the second idea and then explaining it. So yeah, we're on the wrong idea to start with, so that's a little bit of a problem. So people prefer to keep doing things they're familiar with. But if we were looking at this as an idea for the second idea, it still doesn't work, because what we've done is we've given the reason and then explained the reason. So on the other hand, we'd have some belief that a number of people let's make it very clear, this is the second idea, but just so we can see where the student is making this mistake, we've got to make sure that we're actually explaining the question. What you're doing here is putting explanation in there. So we don't want to put explanation. That part about status quo, that can go into your explanation sentence, okay? But make sure you're directly answering this. It's asking, why does some believe that a number of people prefer to do the same activities? Okay? And then because they are scared of challenging new experiences. Okay? But this would be better for the second idea now. Okay, moving on to our next one. That will be the first thing I would say to this student. Check. Yeah, proofread. Go through, make sure you're not making mistakes with capital letters. I know for people who don't have capital letters in their own languages or like lowercase, it probably doesn't look like a very big mistake, but to a native English speaker, which your examiner is going to be, mistakes with capital letters are going to jump out at them. It's going to set off all sorts of alarm bells, and it's not going to put them in a good mood or good state of mind when they're viewing your essay. So some people believe that people who explore new things are avoiding to be bored by doing the same activities. I see where our problem is here. So are avoiding to be bored. So this isn't an expression in English. How can we write this? We don't avoid being bored. Trying to avoid being bored. Okay. Vanessa, yeah, this could maybe work. So some people believe that people who explore try new things are trying to being bored. People who explore new things avoid trying to be bored. If we use by, this is showing the process they're avoiding being bored. So this doesn't quite work. We could use preposition of here, and this will work. So some people believe that people who explore new things are avoiding, avoid being bored of doing the same activities. Okay, so this one will work a bit better. So again, this is a case of not taking risks with vocabulary. So once we fix this vocabulary, is it clear that we're talking about discussion essay here? Nabila says yes, Vanessa says yes, yep. So that part's good. Is it clear we're saying, why do some people like to try new things? That people who are trying. So we've got, yeah, they don't want to do the same things. They don't want to be bored of it. And the reason is they're bored. So I would say to the student, try and have a slightly more concise language. But the elements that you need in your topic sentence are there, which is good. So we are addressing the question. I can look at this. I can think what the question statement is. So this definitely does work as a topic sentence. So I had two more students who we were going to have a look at their topic sentences. So for those two students that I didn't look at, if you can post them in the chat. Okay, so Vanessa. Grace, we use the other one. Okay. So let's have a look at these. This is a typo I see a lot. On the one hand, what should this expression be? On the one hand. So not on the one hand. On the one hand. Summary of the opinion. Okay, so it was showing that it's a discussion. I say good. that they like to try new things. So this is the problem we had before. We're talking about the people with the opinion. So what should we have here? Yeah, we could put people. I would avoid putting some because you've already said some. So we want to sound less repetitive. We could maybe put individuals. So on the one hand, some are of the opinion that people like to try new things. Okay, so it's very clear what the question is. So that's good. Because, excellent, we're showing a reason. They are bored of doing the same things. Okay, good. Here, once again, we've got this things. So we can change maybe one with experiences. Activities. Okay. And then we're just making the language a little bit less vague, which is always good. So apart from that, that makes a really good topic sentence. So good job. And you can see it's very formulaic. You can really remember this structure. You know, some are of the opinion that because, so we're using these structures over and over again. So some are of the opinion, some believe that. So if you remember these structures, you're going to find that you're forcing yourself to write in a logical, clear way. So I would say you can pretty much memorize it for a discussion essay. On the one hand, some are of the opinion or some think, and then what they think, and we give the reason, and then we give the reason, the clause that describes that reason. Okay, so a really nice structure here that can be remembered. I'm going to highlight this. And you can use this in your essays for a discussion essay. So this is always going to be appropriate for the first main body paragraph of a discussion essay. So here we've got some beliefs, so this is good again, that a number of people engage in different activities. So again, this also works like this. As they're bored of doing same things. There is one article problem. The rest of it is really good for this second topic sentence. Where is the article problem? Yeah, the same. So remember this word. It's always going to have that in front of it. Apart from that, very good topic sentences. So we've got two good topic sentences. We can see that we're talking about opinions. We can see what the opinion is, and we see there's a reason for it. So good job. You guys have done very well. So that was the first attitude we looked at. So using this information that I've given you and looking at these structures, let's do the same thing, but we're going to do it for the second view. So the second view is other people prefer to keep doing things they are familiar with. So remember, we're still, the question says discuss these views. So even though we're going to agree with this second one, we still need it to be very clear that it's other people's viewpoint. So that needs to be mentioned in our topic sentence. So scared of doing these things, over to you guys. Let's see another topic sentence for this. And make sure you're proofreading all of your work, because it gets you in really good habits. You'll find if you start to proofread everything, every time you've written a sentence, you'll pick up on lots of little mistakes. And when you start making them, you also start noticing them, because you're getting into the habit of checking your own work. Again, anyone who is watching this video at home, take this time to write a topic sentence for the second idea yourself and see how your topic sentences compare to those of my students. Okay, Saha's got our second one. Thank you, Saha. Okay, we got Mary. I'm going to do these in 2 batches of 3. So let's have a look at these 3 first, while my other students write their 3 topic sentences. So we can see here, everyone's using this nice expression, on the other hand. So if you started your first main body paragraph on the one hand, it's a very nice way to start your next body paragraph with on the other hand. Remember, this works well for discussion essays. It's not always going to work for every type of question type, but for discussion essays, this is a really nice cohesive device, and you can always use it for discussion essays. So others believe that it is preferable to do the same activities which they are familiar with because they are scared of doing new activities. Okay, so is it clear that it is a discussion essay? Mary says yes, completely agree. So we've got this others believe that. Again, we can remember this. This is something that can be used over and over again. We want to see what the view is. So this is a view that's coming from the question. It's preferable to do the same activities which they are familiar with. So the viewpoint is good. So that's very clear. Then we've got this because. So we're showing a reason. Again, very, very clear language, showing, okay, this is the reason that we're giving and we're going to talk about. They are scared of doing new activities. They is very clearly referring to other people, which is good. There is one punctuation mistake. Can anyone spot it? And can you tell me why? Yeah, Nabila, we shouldn't have a comma here. So we have a relative clause here. And this relative clause is defining these activities. Rather than providing extra information about them, it defines the activities. So if you have a defining relative clause, you don't separate it with a comma. Apart from that, it's really good. Okay, let's move on to our next one. So we have, on the other hand, again, using this cohesive device, very accurate. Others prefer to keep doing the same activities. Good. So here we've got that. As they are scared of new experiences, what would be the only thing missing from this? Well, actually, in this point, no, it is exactly as it was worded in this question. Ignore me that. No, this is absolutely fine. There are no more issues with this. Also, I like the fact that you guys have been changing things for activities, so that's good. Vanessa says, is a reason missing? No, we've got this conjunction of as here. This is showing a reason. So you want to use because or as. This will indicate that you have a reason. So it's a good topic sentence. Well done to our writer. Okay. let's move on to our next one. So on the other hand, some say that other people prefer to engage doing the same activities because they are frightened of doing the same ones. Okay. Again, is it clear that it's a discussion essay? So I says yes. I says yes. Good job. Is it clear what the view is? Or the attitude? Yep. And have we got a reason? Yeah. Okay, so we've got all this structure. There's one slight vocabulary here. We don't say engage doing. What would be the more accurate way to express this? So with engage, we can use a preposition here instead of a verb. Aha, Sahar's got it, yeah. So some say that other people prefer to engage in the same activities because they are frightened of doing the same ones. Okay, good, clear. So we've had our first three. Now I'm going to have a look at our next three topic sentences. So we've got Vanessa's here. I think the other two were Grace and Rio. Sorry about the noise outside. My neighbors are, looks like they're having a party. Okay, well, while the other two are writing their sentences, we'll have a look at this. So on the other hand, so again, good cohesive device here, well done. Others prefer, this works, to do activities they are used to. Okay, so the second attitude is being discussed. Because is showing a reason, so this is good. They are scared of doing new things. The reason is very, very clear. And I do not see any grammar or vocabulary mistakes. So great job to the student. Well done, Vanessa. That was a really, really good topic sentence. Okay, I still think we have two students we haven't looked at yet. So if you guys can write your topic sentences in, and we will cover those. Vanessa says she struggled so long to get these. Well, Vanessa, you're writing them really well now. And you can see that once you get the idea, it's pretty simple. We can use the same cohesive device over and over again. We clearly state a view, and then we give a reason with words like because or as. You can follow that structure every single time for one of these discussion essays. We'll have a look at some of the other essay types in the future, but really for these discussion essays, this is going to be the easiest way for you to do that. Okay, do we have any other students who wanted to put their Grace? Cool. And we have a question from Sahar. If we have our opinion in the last sentence of the first main body paragraph, we can we use on the other hand? Yeah. We're going to have a look at how to write opinion statements, Sahar. But what our opinion statements do in a discussion essay, so you're basically introducing this idea. So again, a lot of your task 2 writing is quite repetitive of it being very, very clear what your idea is. So you could be like, okay, however, so we've basically had our essay. We say, however, in my opinion, so your opinion is clear, and then we can either introduce the next idea or we can show a problem with the first idea. In this one, it's going to be a lot easier to just introduce the new idea. But it's very, very important that we've got that because it's asking your opinion. So every single paragraph has to have your opinion in there. We can go into this a bit more detail when we actually look at the opinion statements. Okay. But this one says, however, others prefer to keep doing the same activities because they feel anxious of taking the risks. Okay, so it's clear that we have our second attitude here. So others prefer to keep doing the same activities. Good. We've got a reason because we're using because. That's good. They feel anxious of taking the risks. So what are these risks? Do we know the exact risks, or are we just talking about risks in general? In general. So if we're talking about risks in general, we don't know which particular risks they're taking. So we don't put the definite article here. So apart from that, that would be good. Now I want to move and have a quick look at this. Vanessa says, yeah, can we start the main body paragraph with however? So it's possible, but if you started your first main body paragraph with on the one hand, it is very, very natural to start your second with on the other hand. So don't start on the one hand and then however. Go with on the one hand and then on the other hand, because it works a bit better. The other thing just be careful with is however as well. Quite often your opinion statement is going to start with however. So it's going to sound a little bit repetitive. It depends on the previous writing as to whether this is okay. As far as accurate vocabulary, it's absolutely fine. They are using this correctly, but I would just say out of habit, especially for discussion essays, I would stick to this on the one hand and on the other hand, because it just has a nice cohesion between these two statements. So I'm not going to say it's incorrect, but it could be risky depending on what was the previous paragraph. So if you stick to this nice structure here, so this on the other hand, introduce the idea, have your conjunction, this will be really nice. Okay, and let's have a look. Did we get one from Rie? Rie, would you like me to look at an opinion statement, a topic sentence for you? Okay, so if that's all of the sentences we've got here, I'm going to bring this lesson to a close. So, oh no. Okay, yeah, because you already stated this in the first one. Okay, I understand, Ria, no problem. So what did we learn today? Let's have a quick recap of things that we need to put in our topic sentences. So we want to start a topic sentence, how? On the one hand, something. So we want to have some kind of signposting to indicate that it is a discussion essay. If you use on the one hand, we can use on the other hand for our second body paragraph. That's great. And then use some kind of conjunction like because or as to indicate you're giving a reason, because that's then very, very clear language to show, okay, this is the main idea. Okay. Make sure that when we're reading the topic sentence, we can read the topic sentence and work back from the topic sentence and guess what the question statement is. So if anyone has any questions about this, please leave them in the comments of this video or come join our Facebook group. Please subscribe to the channel, hit like and share. Thank you very much to our students today for everything that you contributed. It was really, really valuable. It's really useful to see where people make mistakes and people, everyone kind of makes the same mistake. So once you see this, you can see, oh, I was doing that. I shouldn't do that. So thank you so much for everyone coming along. Good luck with all your studies. I hope you all have a great day.